One of the things about digital disruption is that it changes the value of the physical, the bricks and mortar, the physical space around us, as well as information. And as we're shifting from, say, a cash-based economy to one of digital transactions, the beautiful thing is that we start leaving digital footprints around the world. That smart brands who are using the information ethically, we can start tailoring and creating experiences that are truly personalized, just like once upon a time they used to be when you used to know your bank manager in your local environment. The digital can support the traditional. So how does this impact your space? Well, the digital platforms that are heavily community-focused, like Airbnb, for example, well, if we compare them to Marriott, well, Marriott took 88 years to build 697,000 rooms in 80 countries. How long did it take Airbnb to get to virtually the same level? 4 years, no physical inventory held themselves, but they built a great community around this brand in 4 years across 192 countries. And now 10% of their bookings are business bookings. Aren't you happy they began the afternoon session with a motivational speaker? All right, I'm not saying Airbnb is going to steal your breakfast or your lunch tomorrow, but we can learn from these digital startups. What is it that made them successful? Great imagery on their website, by being hyper-local, by having concierges write great content about the hyper-locality where you're going to stay. These are the ways they build community. And I think as the home away from home, this is a good opportunity for you guys to look to them as well. And to be aware of the disruptors in the digital space that is hospitality for tomorrow. Second idea, mobilized, localized branding experiences. What does this mean? Well, not only are we all digitizing, but we're also mobilizing in context today. This is important because it enables your customers, before they've come to you and when they've come to you, to make smarter decisions about where they're spending their money. Because the consumer today loves information. Digitized, visualized, contextual information. The expression of catch a cab should now become catch an Uber, because this is what people are opting for. Because they have full transparency of the fact that Gordon's going to pick me up in Shanghai. I see exactly when he's going to come, and the fact that he's going to bring me a little Evian water as he arrives. This is the kind of new mobilized interface that we're getting used to, what we're expecting. And of course, you guys are on that journey with your new mobile check-in. Totally right thing to do. But this also turns the customer into the kind of hero of the future. No longer is the focus just on a heritage brand, but turning the customer into the hero of the journey. Any users of Waze here today? Okay, fantastic, a number of you. Now, GPS technology is nothing new, but what Waze has done is they've created a narrative for us. As we drive from here to Dulles Airport, we can interact with these guys who give us little tips. In fact, their tagline is outsmarting traffic together in a social network. And of course, as you can tell here, brands are starting to feature along that route as well. McDonald's, we know how to stop there, right? To refuel, for example. But it's highly contextualized, it's highly localized, and the information is there when we need it, or at the beginning of planning a trip. If I am, as a consumer, and planning an international trip, wouldn't this kind of GPS ID, contextual information, be relevant to capture my digitized, mobilized mind as well? We no longer ask local human beings for information or tips. We just go on Foursquare instead to get the best tips of where to eat in Logan Circle, 14th Street, right? At least that's where I went, because I'd never ever trust the locals, even though I want to be very local, right? So I go onto Foursquare and read all the advice. When I sit down at Matchbox pizza place, I eat the burger because it was recommended on Foursquare, not the pizza, even though they specialize in pizza. I'm a very difficult consumer. You don't want me in your properties. Okay. The reason that this is important for the future, of course, is that we're becoming much more focused on not just having speed and innovation and information at our fingertips all of the time. Now, we can all go shopping if we're a British citizen at Tesco, right? But sometimes we like to go to the local farmer and the farmer's market as well, which supports this sort of exponential rise in the US, for example, of the count of farmers' markets. Why? Because we need to know, we want to get to know the human being who provides us with our food. And of course, that journey is no longer just about going to the local farmer's market, but it's also now increasingly not just farm to table, but also farm to iPhone. If we focus in on apps like this one, for example, we can just scan the QR code here and know that you're about to consume Daisy. Which might be a little bit macabre, but it's telling us something about how the new consumer is increasingly thinking.